Welcome to the program. My name is Lee Peterson. For those that are tuning in for the first time, I am founder and president of a national nonprofit organization called BOND, the Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny. And our purpose is to rebuild the family by rebuilding the man. We deal with all men and women, but our focus is on the man, with the emphasis on black men. We're trying to understand what is wrong in the black community and how to overcome it. So you will be getting more information in this program, so get something to write the information with. My guest today is James T. Wilson. He is the president of the NAACP, National Association of Colored People in the Watts and South Central area. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
What is the purpose of the NAACP?
The main purpose will just to monitor the racial discrimination between the minorities and the system, the government. So anytime we feel that there's some people that might be having a problem, and we are really sending people that, like a legal team, we do an investigation, and most of the time we turn this material over to our attorneys.
Oh, I see. And can you define racism? How do you know when an incident is a racist incident?
Well, it's kind of hard to define since the change that was made back up under the Reagan administration, but it's got to be really something that's been probably monitored and it's been repeated against the civil rights. And you feel that everyone else, like in a job setting, everybody else is being treated different from you.
Oh, okay.
So long as it's been monitored and it's something that's been done on maybe a daily basis, then we take that in consideration.
And is this black on white or white on black, or is it black on black racism as well? Or blacks and Mexicans, is it just black and white issues?
It's mostly a black on white issue.
Black and white?
Yeah.
And so blacks don't discriminate against one another in the job market, you think?
We normally don't look at it as a discrimination. We look at it as unequal treatment.
In the black community or the black and white issue?
Black and white issue.
And unequal treatment, meaning that a white person try to keep a black out?
Right.
And that's what you mean?
Right.
And so if a black employee tried to employ another black, refuse to employ another black, you don't deal with that kind of issue if the black can say, well, it's because I'm black kind of thing, or discrimination because I'm fat or light skin or those type issues?
Oh yeah, we deal with it, but like I say, it's not a discrimination case. We would call it unequal treatment.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Can black discriminate against one another?
Oh yes.
You can do that?
Oh yeah.
Can black be racist to one another?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
But you guys won't deal with it. It's just unequal treatment.
Right.
Okay, how about blacks and Mexicans? Because I noticed that there's a big issue now between blacks and Mexicans,
right,
especially in Watts and South Central area. A lot of blacks are complaining that the Mexicans are discriminating against them. It's a racial issue. Do you guys deal with that?
Oh yes, there seems to be a growing problem with that right now, and we're trying to work with our brown brothers and trying to come to a setting where we can sit down and talk about these issues.
Yeah, but most of your brown brothers don't like the black brothers.
Right. Yeah.
So what are you going to do about that?
Well, we're just working with the different organizations. There's another organization with the Mexicans have another organization. It's the same as the NAACP. So we meet and try to set up some type of forum where we can probably have some type of communication to handle a lot of situations like that.
Are you surprised at that hatred between the blacks and Mexicans?
No, not really, because I can understand the Mexicans. They feel like California belongs to them. You look around just about every city, every little probably town is probably a Spanish name, and so they feel like this is their state, and it was taken away from them. So
why are they mad at the blacks about it?
Well, they feel that it don't matter who, they want to take it back.
How do you feel about that?
I feel that, it's enough for everybody. So, we should really be able to enjoy everything, between us.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Racism. Is there as much racism as blacks complain about? Do you think whites are spending all that time trying to hold blacks down, or or have blacks been brainwashed to believe that every issue is a racist issue?
Well, I don't think there's, in my office, we have something like about 10 complaints, probably on average about 10 racial complaints about every other day, I imagine.
That's a lot.
Yeah, right. And we have to screen those out. And most of the time, it takes just a conversation. Person wanted to have somebody to listen to them. And that settles a lot of those issues.
Oh, so a lot of them are not real issues,
No,
just
it's not
complaining
realistic.
people.
Yeah, right. Just people who have problems and need to, hear exactly, what type of problem they have, and they can work it out. And they're satisfied with, sometimes they're just satisfied with talking with people.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
How do most people, most Americans feel about the NAACP today?
Well, they feel like that they're really going down. There's not really nothing much being done, but with our new CEO and president, Kiwisi Fumi, in 1999, there's going to be a lot of changes made.
Like what, for example?
We're leading toward economic survival,
as
far as helping them to being educated, getting homes, get jobs, things like that.
I grew up on a plantation in Alabama, and I remember as a kid and a teenage that the laws were against blacks for the most part.
Right.
But yet blacks seem to thrive in economics and education, family, those type of issues. And today the laws are on our side, and blacks seem to be worse off today in those areas than ever before in history. Why is that?
Well, I think most of the blacks feel that, you have a lot of younger ones feel that the system owes them something. So they take it for granted, and that's when they get in trouble by not really putting out and doing what they're supposed to be doing.
But who has caused them to think that way?
Just listening to, friends, families, I think that really brings on a lot of problems.
Do you think that, a lot of time I hear the president of the NAACP, whomever he or she may be at the time, people like Maxine Waters and Jesse Jackson and the Black Caucus and the others, Louis Farrakhan, all those people are always calling everything a racial issue. Whenever there's a problem between black and white, whenever there's a problem in the black community, instead of dealing with the problem itself, they call it racist. And over the last 40 years, they have done that. Do you think that have had anything to do with blacks thinking that way today?
Well, that sort of like adds fire to it, but like I say, after they get into it, and then when the grassroots organizations get involved, we find out that most of it's not racial.
That's right. But why would the NAACP and other organizations like that add fire to it?
Well, I'm not saying that they add fire, but some of these other, politicians, they are out there just to, do whatever they can for the, our public, and they might, overact, and then later on they will
people like Maxine and others?
Right. Yeah,
they may overreact to issues?
Right, yeah.
And are they doing it to keep blacks angry so they can control, or are they doing it to maintain power? And why would they overreact to a situation where they know it's going to hurt black more than help?
Well, they mainly, trying to, satisfy their constituents and letting the people know that they're out there fighting for them. So they got to, get involved and be out there being seen publicly all the time.
So the NAACP is more concerned about racial issue than moral issues. Is that right?
Right.
They're not concerned necessarily about morality.
That's not the main priority.
And why is that?
Well, they feel that your civil rights is the most important things.
More important than moral rights.
Yeah, and I'm saying that civil rights is first. It takes top priority.
Okay.
But
Hold that thought for me. We need to take a break.
Okay.
My name is Jesse Peterson. We're going to take a break and be back in a moment.
Jesse Peterson is the founder of the Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny. For information, write Post Office Box 86253, Los Angeles, California 90086, or call 1-800-411-BOND.
Okay, welcome back to the program. My name is Jesse Peterson, and my guest today is James T. Wilson. He is the president of the National Association of Colored People, NAACP, from Watts in South Central LA.
Right.
We were talking about before break what was most important to the NAACP, morality or civil rights, and you said civil rights.
Right.
Why isn't morality more important to them than civil rights?
Well, a lot of people are really thinking about the laws and the civil leadways and things that the Constitution covers. Morality is not really nothing that the Constitution is involved with.
Oh, I see. Speaking of morality, today we're talking about the relationship between blacks and the fact that they support Bill Clinton in spite of what they know about him.
Right.
The polls indicate that at least 95% of blacks feel that President Bill Clinton should stay in office in spite of knowing that he committed adultery, that he lied under oath, that he tried to cover up his lies, he lied to the American people. He's not a decent man, in other words. 95% of blacks support that. Does that shock you?
No, not really.
Are you embarrassed by that?
No, I really, feel that a lot of people don't know the big picture. There's a lot of things that go on that we look at for as a black person. We look at with Bill Clinton's record, for instance. He's appointed more judges and minority people in politics than all the presidents before him. That means a lot.
So politics mean more to even the black community than morality, character, and all that?
Oh yeah, because we got to live by the laws that politicians are making.
But the people that Bill Clinton have put in office so far have been corrupt and immoral themselves. Jonathan Elder, you see what happened to her? She had to finally leave. The attorney that is working for Bill Clinton right now is under suspicion. Most of the people, Ron Brown, all those guys have never stood for anything. Is it just simply because Bill Clinton appoints a black person?
I don't think so. Everybody has, something in the closet. So if you look deep down in anybody, you'll find something's wrong. So then most time when, you're out there in the spotlight, somebody's going to bring up some issues about you. That don't mean that you're guilty of it.
So if morality is not that important to black people, why is it that if a Republican should do the same thing that he did, Bill Clinton has done, that black would be upset about it and accuse him of being immoral and stuff like that, where morality really doesn't mean anything to them? Why would they take offense if a Republican done something immoral?
I can't recall the issues where the blacks have gotten upset with the Republicans on any moral issues.
Newt Gingrich, when he was, I guess, took money and used it for a personal issue. Let me see, he was doing some type of program in a school and he had money. He took some money. Remember, he had to pay that back, and a lot of blacks were saying, oh, this is wrong, this is immoral. They were upset about that. Were they faking it about the moral issue?
Well, I can't recall. I wasn't following that at the time, but I did remember hearing something about it. There was not too much in the newspaper, and that's the main issue. The newspaper, when the people for CNC, NBC, all the cable stations, when they take it and run with it, that's what, get it out of proportion.
How do you, the president of the National Association of Colored People, feel on a personal issue, knowing that of all the races in this country, the only one that really support Bill Clinton in this time are black people, knowing that he's immoral? How do you feel as a black man, as an American, being exposed in that type of manner as an immoral people? How do you feel about that?
Well, when you're talking about immoral, if you're talking about the Lewinsky case and some of the sexual things, we feel that he was wrong, he admitted it, but why should you, prosecute the president while he's in office? This should be something that, he might be prosecuted later on after he's out of office. So it's really putting a lot of the main issues on the back burners and letting him, being out there prosecuting when a lot of the issues that we really concerned about is not being taken care of.
Would you feel that way if it was a Republican president, or if Bill Clinton had not employed a lot of blacks? Would you think he should still stay in office, or would he have to go then?
I would feel that way whether Republican or Democratic,
Really?
Because the issues that we voted him in to take care of is not being taken care of.
Bill Clinton is setting an example for other young people who commit crimes across the country, and especially in the black community. If Bill Clinton get away with perjury, committing a crime, how are you going to tell other kids or young people that they can't get away with it?
Well, we wouldn't expect him to get away with it. Just saying that he should be, it should be something that's been taken care of out of office.
And so if a young person is in high school and they go out and commit a crime and they have 2 years before they graduate, can they now say, well, I really need to get my education. Can you punish me after I finish school?
That's a different issue,
How is that? Is a person in the United States of America who are subject to the same laws?
No, well, the president governs the whole country. We got a lot of issues that he is responsible for. A lot of issues that is like involving with the kids, the welfare,
How is he gonna,
Social Security.
Well, how would he be able to tell kids the right thing to do now when they all know that he screwed a young girl, he lied on the oath, he cheated on his wife, he's destroyed his daughter, he's not a man? When he go to speak at schools and things like that, how would he tell them not to do those things?
Well, we feel that it was consensual sex, whether he done it, in the White House or what.
But breaking the law wasn't consensual. He lied on the oath. How would he explain to the kids not to lie on the oath?
Well, he was wrong about lying. We don't.
So how would he explain that to kids when he goes to speak in schools?
Well, we feel that as long as, the government take steps to take care of the problems proper, it should be done that way, as far as being censured and taken care of after you're out of office.
So when Bill Clinton go around to speak at schools to children, and he speak on the issue of keeping the law, doing the right thing, how would he be able to do that now?
Well, if he was censured by the government and then we move on with the problems that he's supposed to be taking care of, I think that would be explained itself.
Are you saying that he should not go into the schools anymore?
No. He can explain that he's been punished.
But he has not been punished.
I mean, I'm saying that it should be taken care of by being censured.
Limited in
right,
what he can do.
Right, yeah.
So would that give the young kids a right to be censored instead of going to jail for their crimes as well?
Oh, no.
Why not? And what's good for the goose should be good for the gander.
But you're looking at, this is almost like a black and white issue. It's two different issues.
Breaking the law is breaking the law.
But you're talking about an issue where it's going to involve the whole country, That's not the little school kids or college kids that break a law. It's not about, it's not going to affect you and your family, right?
It might, if they rob my family.
Okay, it might rob your family, but it's not going to affect the whole family, like my family and everybody's family.
Can you trust Bill Clinton anymore?
Oh, sure.
So you can trust a liar?
Everybody have been a liar.
No, that's not right. You can trust a liar.
Everybody have lied.
Do you lie?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you lie. So are you lying to me now?
No, I'm not lying to you now, but everybody have did it. Nobody is really pure and saintful.
So can you trust an adulteress?
Not really.
So do you trust Bill?
I believe that he was wrong, and we should put that aside and get on with the
Do you trust the
politics.
adulteress? That's what I'm asking.
Sure.
So you trust Bill Clinton?
Yeah, we trust him. He didn't break no laws for as for as the government.
Okay.
He's doing his job.
He lied
doing
on
a good
the oath.
job.
He lied on the oath. That is breaking the law. Can you trust him?
That wasn't anything that had anything to do with politics, though. His political agenda that he was voted in for.
But if he is the type of person that can lie on the oath and break the law, how do you know when he's not lying on doing other issues or political issues? How do you know when he's telling the truth?
Well, the record would speak for itself.
What do you mean?
His agenda, the things that he had taken care of in the past.
Is he a good president?
He's about, we, we have a way of grading people for the NAACP.
Right.
He's one of the top on our list
And what made him good? The top of your list?
because of some of the things he did for the system, the government.
Like what, for example?
Was trying to, like get the economy in shape and employing people on it for like a rainbow coalition of people, not just picking one person because of a racial the background, the denomination, and issues like that.
The NAACP liked Bill Clinton because he got the economy in shape, but he really didn't do that. The Republican Party did that. It's like a leftover from Ronald Reagan, the Republican taking over, just continue that. Bill Clinton really didn't do that.
It was up on his administration.
But he didn't do it though. I know he gets credit for it because he's the president, but the reality is he didn't do that.
He would have to approve everything, right?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
All right, so I know he get the credit. And the other thing is because he has a rainbow coalition kind of a mind thing. And so you like him because he employed blacks and Mexicans and others.
He gave everybody a chance.
Interesting.
Yeah.
My other question is, I've said that the reason most blacks support Bill Clinton and they don't really care about his immoral lifestyle is because, and if the polls are right, at least 95% of blacks are immoral and un-American. It seemed to me that in the black community that the idea or the notion of morality doesn't exist anymore. For example, having sex out of wedlock is no big thing in the black community anymore. They do it and it's just laughed about. I know many cases where young girls, young and old women, older women are having babies out of wedlock, and the mother of that girl who was pregnant just proud of it. Oh, my daughter's having a baby out of, no consideration, no shame that the father is not there. They have baby showers as though it's an intact family. Most of the preachers are, using the blacks for their own personal gain, not really giving a damn about black people. Crime is out of control in the black community, and homosexuality is running rampant. There's no shame anymore in the black community about these kind of things. Do you think that has anything to do with them not really caring about the moral aspect of the president?
No, I don't think so. Some of the issues you're raising, I'm really shocked to hear that you're saying, especially homosexual and stuff like that. I have a lot of friends. I can't think of not too many that I would say is homosexuals that is involved in a lot of crime.
No, I didn't say that homosexuals involved in crime. I'm saying crime itself.
Well, I'm saying
black on black crime is at an all-time
I understand.
high.
I'm saying there's two different issues.
And
I don't know of any. Too many of my friends I know of that's involved in a lot of crime.
Maybe not your friend, but you do know that in the black community these things are happening.
No, I don't.
A lot. Oh, you don't know that crime is out of control?
No, I don't think so.
You don't know about the gang violence that's in the community?
Oh yeah, I know about it. I don't think it's out of control.
Oh, is it under control now?
Oh yeah.
Meaning what?
Since Chief Parks came in as the chief, there's a lot of things that's being put in place to monitor these things.
Right.
I've been to a meeting with the chief and some of his commanding officers.
I have too.
And there's a lot of things that put in place where they can tell exactly what's going on in each area. Every time a police make a stop, that's recorded. They got the computers that would log this in.
Right.
So we know exactly what's going on, how often it happened, who's doing it, the people who's involved in stuff like this. And the report that I've gotten shows me that it's down. It's not out of
Let me tell you that is not true. I work in the juvenile halls, and we also monitor those, the crime rate in the black community. It's being covered up more so today than ever before, but it's still running rampant.
So it's been covered up by who?
I guess about the leaders, the political leaders. They want to give the impression that the crime is down. Young kids killing one another. Stuff.
Wait a minute, you monitor this?
Yes, we do. We work
also
with
monitor
kids.
this. I have a log in my office about people who call about police harassment and everything.
Let's go back. I want to go back to this other issue though. We could talk about that, but because of time for this particular segment, do the NAACP care, or is it because blacks are so low in morale, or they're amoral, that they don't really care. And I understand the NAACP don't care about his lifestyle, they just care politically about the political issue. But is it the reason that 95% of blacks support him is because values in the black community is null and void almost? With the exception of a few. There are some good, moral, God-fearing black people, but there are very few of them. Is that why they don't care about Bill Clinton lying and cheating on his wife and stuff?
I wouldn't agree with you on that.
Why is it that 95% of blacks support him?
I believe that there's a lot of people who have a lot of good moral issues, and a lot of blacks are really trying to do something for the community.
I know, but why are they disgusted at Bill Clinton? Is it because they accept immoral as a norm now?
Well, I feel that they really believe that he did it, so why scrutinize it in the news and on TV and everything? Get on with the public, the administration work that we should be doing.
So is it because blacks are so accustomed to working with criminals that they don't care that he is a criminal as long as he gives them the programs to do what they want?
We're not calling him a criminal. He's not been convicted of anything.
You don't think lying under oath is a criminal act?
Well, he admitted that he did it,
Right.
so...
but by force, though, for 9 months he admitted he didn't do it. Or, you know what? We're out of time. Can we pick up on this in the next segment?
Right.
Okay. For more information about the NAACP or my organization, call my 800 number and we can give out your number. Is that all right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can give out the number. I do appreciate you coming on. I really want to get an understanding why blacks think the way that they think. And I think that we've done that today. Goodbye. See you next week. Welcome to the program. My name is Jesse Peterson. I am founder and president of a national nonprofit organization called BOND, the Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny. And our purpose is to rebuild the family by rebuilding the man. We deal with all men, but our emphasis is on the black man. Today, this is a two-part series on the support of the black community for President Bill Clinton. And James T. Wilson, the president of the National Association of Colored People, NAACP, from Watts, South Central area, is here to help us to understand why blacks are supporting Bill Clinton in spite of knowing that he's a liar, an adulteress, a lawbreaker, cannot be trusted, and they still support him. 95% of black people. Thank you for staying over.
Right.
He's dressed like this because he stayed overnight. James, the NAACP is not concerned about morality when it comes to Bill Clinton.
We're saying that that's not the top priority.
Right.
We do care about morality.
But not concerning the president.
We hold the president at a higher constituent.
Yeah.
That we feel that there's more important issues that should be taken care of, as far as making sure our welfare is there for the next century, and some of the issues as far as education for our kids and having schools that's really proper for them to go in and be educated in. Those are the issues that we are really concerned about.
Okay.
We're not concerned about those scandals. We're saying that he said that he done it. We know that he did it. So let's move on.
Right. Are you concerned that he lied about it for 9 months?
We're really concerned about that he lied under oath, and that's an issue that should be taken care of when he's out of office.
When he's out. And so the NAACP still trusts the liar, though, that he's going to do whatever it is that you want him to do.
We're not concerned about whether he lied or not. We're concerned about taking care of the problems that is on hand now.
Right. Are you surprised, James, that 95% of blacks support him in spite of knowing what he's done? Are you surprised about that?
No, I'm not.
Why not?
Because this is one of the presidents have done more for the minority race than any president that we have known of.
Oh, okay. And when you say more, I know we talked about it in the other segment. When you say he's done more for black, you mean what?
As far as economy, trying to get it a grip on it. Even you had mentioned that the Republicans is more responsible for getting the budget in order, but it was all done up under Clinton's administration.
Right, but he get the credit. He's the
Right.
president. He get the credit.
Right.
I've never seen a situation where you could get majority of people to agree on anything.
Mm-hmm.
How is it that you got I still don't understand though. How is it that you got 95% of blacks to agree with this? Do they all think Bill Clinton is wonderful because he employed blacks and gave them welfare?
When you say 95%, I don't know what is 95%, but I say the majority,
Right.
have a lot of faith in him.
They have faith in him.
Yeah.
How do you, James, as president of the NAACP Watts South Central area, feel? Are you embarrassed knowing that black put programs over character?
Well, most of the blacks feel that the issues concerning their life and their welfare is more important than scandals.
No. I say, are you embarrassed that they put programs over character? Because it's clearly indicating that that's what they're doing. Even, they may say, yeah, well, I want Bill Clinton because he employed blacks, he gave us welfare, he gave us affirmative action. Are you embarrassed as a black American that blacks put programs over character?
No, not really.
You're not embarrassed?
No, not embarrassed. You might feel that it might have been wrong, but you can't feel embarrassed because you got to live with the programs.
But you don't have to live with character?
Right.
Really?
Character is not a priority.
And is that the way it should be?
That's not the way it should be, but you got your priorities. Number one,
Do blacks have their priorities screwed up?
You have to, be educated, and you got to eat, and you got to, be prosperous in life and stuff like that. And then you build all the other stuff as a base up under that.
So you think that things takes precedence over character?
Well, if a person has his priorities in order, the character will ordinarily
Come later?
Yeah, become.
Really?
Yeah, right.
So you think that if we got money and jobs and that, then we'll get the character later?
Well, not necessarily money. If we got the education.
That the character will come later?
Right.
Okay, then Bill Clinton is an educated man. Would you agree?
We think so.
He has degrees. He's a lawyer.
Right.
He's the president of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
He still lacked character. When will he be getting his character?
I wouldn't say that he liked character.
You wouldn't?
Everybody has skeletons in the closet.
Do you think that
If you look deep enough, you would have a couple.
I got a lot of them, but
Right, yeah.
but
You can't point the finger at someone else.
when I was developing those skeletons,
Mm-hmm.
I was a immoral man.
Right.
I was like Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
But I've changed, and
So
I
you were
don't
saying
have any skeleton in my closet.
You were saying
from
that
the
you're
point that I
100%
changed.
saint now?
I'm not saying that I'm a saint, but I don't do those things.
Yeah.
My character is more important to me than anything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I feel the same way. I did a lot of wrongdoings in my life, but I don't do now. But I don't want to dwell on that. We got to move on. This is the issue that we're talking about. Let's move on with the education that some of the other different issues is on hand.
Okay, let's talk about education. And Bill Clinton has done some good for education,
Right.
And blacks, right?
Right.
Tell me how. What area?
As far as trying to get job programs for a lot of minority people.
When you say job program, what do you mean?
Different welfare, as far as being able to go to, a decent school, get a nice home, stuff like that.
He's done that for blacks?
Well, he's leaning toward trying to get this organized.
So he hasn't done it yet, he's just leaning to it,
Yeah.
toward it. And you trust that he will do it?
Oh, yeah.
And you can trust a liar that he could eventually do it?
We're not saying he's going to lie about it. We believe
But how do you know he
if
won't
we work
lie?
with him, that
If Bill Clinton lied to the American people on TV to the world, how is that you trust that eventually he's going to get you a home and get you some good schools?
okay, just because he lied up on the oath, we're not going to say the man is a liar.
Oh,
No.
what would determine that
We
he
can
is a
believe
liar?
some things he say, you know.
James, do you realize that the schools in the inner cities are worse today than ever before in history? And not because of the opportunities not being there, but because the people in the community lack character. In the public schools in Los Angeles, especially at Crenshaw High and Emmanuel Arts and all the schools around, they're teaching our children how to put on condoms. They're teaching our children to accept homosexuality as being normal, Project 10. They're teaching our children false history. They're not telling the truth about history. All of the social programs are passed on to black children first. Is that what Bill Clinton is making possible for us? Is that what you guys are proud of?
Oh, no, that's not the issue. You mentioned Crenshaw High School. I used to work at Crenshaw as an assistant teacher.
Yeah.
I don't believe that it's worse now than it were, you say 10 years ago?
Yeah.
I
I
worked
said
there
ever
about
before in history, really.
15 years ago, so I don't think it's worse now.
But is that what you want from Bill Clinton?
No, we don't expect him to
But that's what he promotes.
push issues like that.
But he does promote those things.
Not that I know of.
You don't know that?
No.
Does he promote? Okay, we need to take a break. The guy's doing this to me, and I'll ask this question when we come back from break.
Okay.
Back in a moment.
Jesse Peterson is the founder of the Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny. For information, write Post Office Box 86253, Los Angeles, California 90086, or call 1-800-411-BOND.
Okay, welcome back. My guest today is James T. Wilson. He is the president of the NAACP, National Association of Colored People in Watts, South Central area. James, before we went to the break, I asked, did Bill Clinton support, homosexual in our schools, programs in the public schools area? And you said, no, he doesn't support that, or he does?
I said I wasn't aware of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does Bill Clinton favor homosexuality?
I've never heard an issue where, I can recall where he was saying he was favoring homosexuality.
Did he promote Don't Tell, Don't Ask in the military? Are you familiar with this guy?
I've heard about it,
Do you know that Bill Clinton is in favor of that?
Well, he might be. Everybody have their own thought of how, social life should be. And
But knowing that he's in favor of it now, let's pretend you just discovered that he is in favor of it. A man that you support, a liar, adulterer, breaking the law, knowing that he's in favor of that, how do you feel about that?
Well, you're saying a lot of things that, I disagree with, being
Like
a
what?
liar, adulterer, breaking the law. This hadn't been proven.
He admitted that he lied.
Yeah, he admitted he lied.
So how much proof do you need?
You're saying breaking the law. We look at his work.
He lied on the oath with the Paula Jones case. And
That had nothing to do with.
That's been proven too.
That's had nothing to do with his job as a president.
Let's go back to something else you said. You said that he promotes welfare for black people. Are you in favor of welfare for blacks?
Well, we have so many minorities, we would say, that's born up under, over 50% up under the poverty line. So there should be some type of welfare for them.
So you're in favor of welfare for blacks?
Right.
What is wrong with black people that they need welfare and programs? What has gone wrong with them that they don't have the know-how, the courage, the energy to stand up for themselves, to fight for life, and to provide for themselves. What went wrong that they're like that today?
I don't understand why you say blacks.
Well, the NAACP is for blacks, right?
From the report I got,
I know, but
only 33% of the blacks on welfare.
But the NAACP,
so that shows that most of them are not on the welfare.
We're talking about NAACP and their relationship with the blacks. So what is wrong with blacks that they need welfare and stuff like that?
They're not the main people or the main race.
I know that. I understand that part. There are more race than that.
Right.
But you say Bill Clinton gave that to the blacks. What is wrong with?
I didn't say he give it to the blacks. I say he give it. He's for the minorities.
Minorities mean who?
In the minority race, black, Mexicans, Asians.
And that's why you guys like him?
Well, he's for the Rainbow Coalition.
Okay, let me ask you this. Bill Clinton is against school choice, vouchers for school choice. And he's sending his daughter to the best high school, private school, best colleges. Are you offended that this man is offering the black kids the public school system and offer his child the best school? Whereas if they had a choice with the voucher that they can go to a school of their choice, are you offended that he doesn't offer black kids the same thing that he offered his kids?
I don't think you understand what the voucher means.
I do understand what it means.
You don't.
It means that as a parent, I would get that tax money in my hand and I can send my child to whatever school I want to. Whether it be that public school or whether it be a
but up on a voucher, the person that you're sending them to couldn't really be qualified to be a teacher.
But still, I would have that choice to make that decision.
Yeah, but...
are you offended that Bill Clinton would would prevent black kids from having a choice when providing the best choice for his own children?
You know, what I know about vouchers myself, I'm against vouchers myself.
So are you offended that Bill Clinton feel that way?
No.
You're not?
No.
You're not. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Dr. King, you said earlier that character should be second in our life and not first. Dr. Martin Luther King said that one day we as blacks will be judged by our character and not our color. 40 years are going by and most blacks lack character today. And as a result of that, we're being judged by our color. Are you offended by that?
Well, that's just the way the system is. That don't mean that you got to be offended by it. You got to work with it to improve it.
But the system is not, it is doing it, but it wouldn't prevent you from developing character if you knew that character was most important to you. And according to you, blacks don't think that character is like a second thing.
No, don't say according to me.
Well, you said getting the money, getting the
education.
And stuff like that is priority, and character is second.
It comes with that, It builds on its own merits.
But most people...
Once you get the education, you get the education, your education would teach you that the character should be there.
Really?
Right.
Would you say that Jesse Jackson is educated?
I think so.
Would you say Maxine Waters is educated?
Sure, I have a lot of respect for Maxine Waters.
Is the president, the founder, or the president over the National Association of Color Folks, is he educated?
That's my boss, so he's got to be educated.
But they don't have character.
I think they do.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
Can you have character and agree with welfare for people, accusing white folks of hating you and holding you down, homosexuality, the breakdown of a country, encouraging hatred? Can you have character and try to control people by encouraging them to hate? Can you have character and do those things?
I don't think they're trying to control nobody.
Okay, give me a yes or no on that first, and then I'll tell you why I say that they are. Can you have character and try to brainwash and control other people?
They can't be trying to brainwash nobody.
No. Answer my first about, can you have character and do that?
Well, the people you mentioned, they have character.
Okay, let's put them aside. Can a person have character and do that?
I don't feel that they're brainwashing anybody to learn anything or to push them to hate white people or anything.
My question to you is, can a person have character and do that to another person, anybody?
You can have character, and you can be doing a lot of other things.
You can have character and brainwash a person and control them.
I'm not saying that you can be brainwashing and not have character.
You can have character to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. You can have it to do it.
Yeah.
I say that Maxine Waters and others are doing it to blacks, and I say they don't have character. And the reason I say that they are doing it is because every time they open their mouth, they're always talking about race issues, saying that the white man is doing this and we need to do this with the white man. They're always encouraging welfare and affirmative action to blacks. They are always doing things that would cause blacks to turn against America, to be hateful. And they offer these programs to blacks, but when you look at their families, they give them the best education. There's a father and a mother in the home. They have gone to, they got high positions in life, they're, whatever they do, the white man is not holding them back. But instead of telling blacks how they make it, they're always giving the blacks impression that they can't make it because of the white man. Can you have character and do that?
I don't think they're doing these things.
What do you?
So, I don't know where you get your reports from, but all the allegations you're making against these people is totally wrong.
It is?
Oh, yeah.
Do they fight for welfare programs?
I know Maxine Waters is a part of my,
District there, huh?
Yeah, district, and part of my branch.
Okay.
She was our keynote speaker at our banquet last year, and this lady is really doing a lot for our people.
Do they fight for?
Building morality, getting them jobs. She have a job center.
Let me ask you
She
this.
have a lot of people that graduate and go on and get.
Do Maxine Waters and others fight for welfare programs for blacks?
I wouldn't say she fight for welfare programs because she have an institution that builds them to go out and get jobs and have careers of their own.
She doesn't fight for welfare programs.
I never seen where there was an issue where she's fighting for welfare. She mostly pushing for people to be educated.
Do they fight for affirmative action for blacks?
Oh yeah.
They do. And you think that's good to fight for affirmative action for blacks?
I think so.
So, and why do we need affirmative action?
Because we have been mistreated for ages, being kept on the total pole for centuries, so we need to make up that space.
By whom?
By probably the government and the system that it was set up a long time ago up under slavery.
And did Maxine Waters or Jesse Jackson and NAACP, did they overcome that by way of affirmative action?
Not affirmative action. I think
how did they overcome it?
They didn't have anything to do with it. This was something that was set a stage before they was born.
No, but how were they able to succeed if the system is holding blacks back to a point where we need affirmative action? How did they overcome it without affirmative action?
They was given a chance to be educated, and they took advantage of it.
Who gave them the chance?
The system.
So the system gives some blacks a chance and not others?
It's supposed to give everybody a chance.
But it's
not doing that now.
It gives it to some blacks and not others?
Well, it used to, but right now it's being almost like set back 10 years.
So the reason, and when you say system, you are referring to the white people, right?
The government.
Is the government?
There's a lot of blacks in government.
That want to hold blacks back as well?
No, but I'm just saying that.
Are you referring to blacks and white when you say system?
Right.
So there are some blacks that wouldn't let blacks succeed if it wasn't for affirmative action?
Well, the blacks in government is not the people in charge.
Who are the people in charge?
When you got a black that's in the government, that don't mean that he makes the decision. He works for somebody else.
So are you saying the white man make the decision?
It's always the white man that's on top of everything.
So the white man make the decision?
It's always the white man makes the rules.
So is it the white man making the decision?
Most of the time.
Most of the time. So is it the white man that is telling Maxine and Jesse Jackson, this is what we want you to have for your community. We want you to have welfare. We want you to have affirmative action. And this is what we want you to do. And that's why they're doing it, because they can't make the decision.
Oh no, they are part of the system now. They're in the government. They're the top politicians.
Oh.
So they set the rules.
So the white man don't tell them what to do.
No, we put them in place for them to do what we say, we tell them to do.
But the white man don't tell Maxine and Jesse Jackson what to do.
Well,
or the NAACP?
I wouldn't say that the white man tell them what to do.
They do not tell them what to do?
I wouldn't say that they do.
Oh, so how did they, as black people, get beyond that white man so he won't tell them what to do? And why don't they teach that to other blacks instead of encouraging programs that would keep them down?
Well, they are. They are trying to teach everybody, you know, no matter what race you are. If you got the education, you can succeed.
Let me ask you this, because of time. How do you feel as a black man knowing that you need a leader, you need a Jesse Jackson, or you need a Maxine Waters, or you need a NAACP to tell you how to think, tell you what you need, tell you how to overcome? Are you embarrassed that you don't think for yourself, you don't lead your own life, you're not out there living your life, you need a leader? Is that embarrassing to you personally as a man?
I don't think that everybody needs that, but in every organization, there's got to be a president. In every tribe, there's got to be a chief. It can't be all Indians and no chief.
But the NAACP decides what most of black people should have. I'm asking you, are you embarrassed by that as a man, that there are organizations out there that is telling you as a black man how to think, what you need, when you need it, you need welfare, you need affirmative action. They're thinking for you to tell you how to vote, vote for me because I'm black. Are you embarrassed as a black man by that notion?
I don't think that you can say that they're telling them what to do. They're giving them a lot of options and telling them that they're best options.
So are you embarrassed with that idea that there are people out there, black people, black men that need leaders?
Everybody needs a leader.
Do you need one?
Everybody has got somebody that they got to look up to.
And do you need a leader?
Well, I look up to Kiwisi Fumi as my leader,
and why?
For the NAACP.
And does he look up to you?
Well, he know me, he met me, but I wouldn't say he looked up to me, but he recognized me as one of his probably leaders for the organization.
Why do you look up to him as a man?
I have a lot of respect for the way that he carries his life.
What do you mean?
For his, the examples that he set for for everyone.
Yeah. So overall, you're not embarrassed as a man that black men or black people are looking to leaders as opposed to looking within themselves and living their own life. You're not embarrassed by that at all?
Oh no, everybody has somebody to look up to. Don't you have somebody as a leader in your life?
No.
You don't look up to nobody?
No. I respect people, but I don't look up to anybody.
Oh, you don't?
No, sir. But I respect people. I have a high respect for a lot of people.
Well, it's the same thing.
But I don't look up to people.
It's the same.
No, it's not the same thing. These black people, they accept the welfare program, they accept affirmative action. Whatever these people tell them, they go for it without thinking. Are you embarrassed by that?
I don't think they go for it without thinking. Everybody have a brain, and that's what they use it for, to think.
Do you think that most blacks are using their brain?
Oh yeah.
And to do what?
To live a nice, healthy life.
In closing, what would you recommend for blacks? Oh, I don't know how to ask that question because you don't really think character should be priority.
I didn't say that it shouldn't be priority. I said
should it be priority?
That just falls within the education. Education is #1 priority in your life.
So, in closing, do you still recommend that blacks support Bill Clinton and they don't think he should resign or be impeached?
Oh no, he shouldn't be impeached. We don't feel that he should be impeached. It's not an impeachable offense. He should be censured, and this should be taken care of after he's out of office.
If a black preacher committed a crime in the church, he's a head, like that black Baptist preacher, I can't think his name, he's over the black convention thing, Baptist convention, he committed a crime as well, cheated on his wife. Should he be impeached?
Well, he's not running the country.
Should he be impeached?
The church and the country is two different issues.
They force him to resign?
There's the church and the country is two different issues.
I understand that. In closing, should they force him to resign?
Well, I don't think that these two should be compared to each other.
Right. Should they force him to resign?
You can't compare the preacher to the president.
Okay, let's don't compare him to the president.
Yeah.
Let's compare him to the preacher sent by God. Should he be forced to resign?
Well, the preacher, I don't, you talking about Reverend Lyons?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure, he cheated on his wife, had another woman on the side, using the church money, did all kind of things. Should he be forced to resign?
If I knew all the issues involved in that, I probably can give you,
Let's
an
say
answer,
that
but
what we
I
just
don't know.
said, let's assume what we said is true for the sake of the program. If it's true, should he be forced to resign?
If he was my preacher and what you said was true, I would vote for him to be impeached or resign.
Okay. In closing, I do think that character count. I think that character should be priority. I think that, as Dr. King said, that if blacks should develop character, America would judge us by that. And the problem in the black community today, and the reason they support Bill Clinton, is because they lack character. And the good thing about this whole Bill Clinton issue, it is exposing what the real problem is in the black community. And that is lack of character, and they don't love their country. But I appreciate you coming on.
But that's just your opinion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we know you are.